Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to welcome you to the third episode of the Road to Ironman Hamburg series. Are you ready for this? Let's dive in straight into what this episode is going to look like. The first half is obviously going to be the highlights of what happened in the last 1 week. All the sessions I did, how the nutrition looked like, how the recovery looked like. That is obviously the road to Ironman Hamburg. So I'm going to tell you everything about it. I'll keep it crisp this time, promise. The next part, I have received my order from Univet for this quarter. It's containing all the latest sports nutrition products, including one new product that Univet has launched, which is so important for an athlete. So I'm going to open that box and I'm going to show you everything that I use for an Ironman race. Obviously, you can use this for other endurance races as well, and you can use some products if you're just starting your journey out, if you're just doing your first 5K, first 10K. There are some really important and useful products, but I'm going to show you all the products that I use. Some of them are supplements as well. So, super excited. And I'll also tell you what my race strategy for nutrition is. Basically, it means what are my carb ratios, what are my electrolyte numbers or sodium numbers. So all of that, yes. So that is the second part and obviously the most exciting part of this episode. So are we ready to go and check out the box? No, we first start with the highlight. Last week, I did 2 strength sessions. That was on Monday and that was on Wednesday. I did 2 endurance sessions. Saturday, just did an easy 45-minute zone 1, zone 2 walk, jog, run. I did a couple of sprints just to get the feel of it. And Sunday, I did like a long, not a very long, but then just 1 hour of a bike ride indoors itself. Obviously, I'm not in my endurance zone, endurance block, but I'm on the strength block. I couldn't get the third strength session because I was slightly feeling low on energy. I think I have to really amp up my carb intake because there's a lot of recovery process that's going on at the back end. Like, I didn't assume the kind of impact obviously the dental thing did to me. There was I think a phase of that, and there's this other thing that happened where I kind of slept with my hair wet and I woke up with a slight leaky nose and all of that. So I think I caught a small infection over there. It was not too bad, but it was there. So I wanted to be kind of like really critical about it. So I'm doing my third strength session like tomorrow, that's Saturday, and I kept Friday off. So this is how it was. These were the sessions that I could do. On the strength sessions, obviously I was trying to kind of break into new number barriers. On Monday, I was feeling like super fresh. So we actually did 90 kgs of rack pulls. Rack pulls are a slightly easier modified version of your RDLs. So I think you can do 20% higher in terms of weight or in terms of weights on the rack pull versus the RDL. On Wednesday, we actually measured the reactive strength index. So my trainer got this really cool small device called the Output. I mean, the brand is called the Output. So we plugged that in onto my feet. And this was after the whole session was done. So he was like, hey, if we had done this before, then probably the numbers would have been better. So what we were testing was actually just a baseline so that after a month or 2, we can actually see if this number had increased. Okay, so firstly, let's come back to what is RSI. So the reactive strength index basically tells you how efficiently you're able to convert the power of force when your feet kind of lands to the floor. What does that mean? I mean, it's like just the power of, when you put your feet to the ground, how quickly you are able to kind of bounce off. So the faster you're able to do that, obviously your running economy is better. And if you're able to get that really high and faster turnover, running is going to get a lot better. Your running economy gets better and your form, your technique, all of that gets better. Endurance athlete, I think the results of this is not kind of like a defining factor because for us, the endurance itself, what is the aerobic capacity and your physical fitness, I think these are 2 main important pillars of endurance training. And the RSI is probably way more significant for a track and field athlete. But that said, on the long term, your running form, your technique, all of these things kind of get better and you get crisper with the motion, it kind of brings in and adds to your. Coming to recovery, this is how the recovery looked for the last 7 days. It's been decent. I think the average looks good. I constantly try to kind of get that green recovery, but that said, it's not always perfect. There are good days, there are bad days, and we see what affected a particular day, why did the recovery fall, and then slowly kind of do the right things to get that recovery back. And that's like, I think, a constant process forever. But I have seen that dehydration is one key thing that causes a poor recovery for me. So I'm trying to kind of keep all sorts of alerts. For me, Alexa beeps me every 2 hours saying drink water, so I can hear it when I'm at home. So there are different ways I'm trying to kind of plug in dehydration or kind of try to reduce that. Food is something that I have to really rework on. Basically, try to see how much of that carbs and what are the ratios that I can like better on. Or I do eat quite clean, quite healthy, and I will make a video on, you know, what I eat in a day and all of that. But that said, I like to kind of be more precise on it, because obviously nutrition, sleep, and training, these are the key pillars of a good performance. So yeah, I'm excited to see what I can do there. So that's a wrap with what happened last week. I'm sure it's going to get a lot more exciting once the actual swim, bike, run sessions start, because that's where the volume builds up. And I'm going to start that on 23rd. That's my first day. And in the next week, I'm just going to try getting into swim to bike to run sessions, just getting the feel of it before I, you know, hand myself over to my coach, who's going to kind of like get me on fire. So I want to just get a hang of these sports, just doing them, because it's been about 2-3 months since I've kind of done swim, bike, run all together in 1 week, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, I'm excited to get started. And there are so many things happening on the work front. I'm working on my business idea, I'm working on the coaching part, building communities. There's so much happening, and yeah, so I have to make sure that my work is kind of carrying on, and triathlon training is obviously just 15 to 20% of what I do in a day. So I want to make sure that it's all delegated firstly, so that the specialists come in, like my coach comes in, my strength trainer comes in. So I'm not putting my head into, you know, figuring out what I should do. I'm just telling them what my body or how I'm feeling, and I'm just executing over there. So then I can use my brain power on the things I want to build and I want to grow. So that's a wrap. I told you I'm going to keep it short, but yeah, I just keep blabbering sometimes. So next part, we are unpacking the Univet box. It's right in front of me. I'm going to take it. I'm going to show you. And before I open that, I want to tell you, yes, Univet sponsors me. So they give me the products, and I will be sponsored up until my race. That said, this video is, they haven't asked me to make a YouTube video. The sponsorship ends at Instagram. So this is something that I just wanted to kind of do to show you what all I use, because on Instagram in 60 seconds, it's close to impossible to kind of show you everything. So I'm going to just open up the box, rip open it, and show you all the products, and maybe tell a few whys of why I use a certain few products, and I'll tell you what my race nutrition strategy is. So let's go straight into that. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. That's the bill. Okay, all the products have kind of got distorted, and there's like a really nice something. Wishing you all the best for your training and performances leading to the full Ironman. Keep excelling. I will. I think there are a couple of like stickers at the back to wear for the race if I am going for it. Okay, so I'm going to show you the products. Let me kind of take them one by one. Let me actually show you the first and the most important product. that I have been using for the last 6 years. This is the Elite Hydration Mix. And this is a product that you need to use even if you're like a beginner 5K runner. You don't have to be doing marathons or Ironmans. Electrolytes are so important. And how do you decide how much electrolytes you need, right? So that's a very good question. And it really depends on how much you sweat. Like for me, I'm a moderate sweater, and I know this because I've seen those guys who sweat like crazy. So yeah, I'm a moderate sweater, and I take in about 900 to 1000 mg of sodium. So I measure it out. So there are obviously numbers here. You know exactly one scoop is how much mg of. So here it says 2 scoops is 18.75. That's a serving size. And each serving size, that's there's amount per serving is 1000 mg sodium. So basically 2 scoops is what I need. So depends on how much water you're taking, how much sodium you need, and based on that, you take in that amount of electrolytes. And this will vary if you're racing in a different country or a different environment because the weather changes significantly. I cannot use the same amount of electrolytes in Bangalore and in Goa because in Goa it's so hot and humid and I'm losing a lot more salt. Okay, so super important. And I love this particular mix because it doesn't have any flavor and I like things flavorless. When you're slogging it out, I don't want a specific flavor that just ruins my mouth. And okay, we'll talk less on the other products. The next one, and one of my favorite products, I think I've told this to 100 people, and so many people have started using it after I've told them about it. That's the Gel 100. So I use these for fueling. So during my training sessions, so they have about 26 grams of carbs. So it's about 100 calories, and it has about, this is 25, sorry. So 25 grams of carbs, and yeah, based on how much carbs you need per hour, you kind of take that amount of gels. Simple as that. So I don't use gels for all my training. I keep most of my training on solid foods, bananas and dates, if you've seen. All the easy sessions just are on bananas and dates. And I kind of move to gels on the hard sessions, interval sessions where I need fast carbs, fast glucose into my blood. So that's where I move to gels, and also for race specific sessions because it's important for me to train my gut before I race. So my gut needs to understand what it is to digest this. Is it able to digest the specific brand? I need to know that, right? So I train my gut for that, and then on the race day, obviously I have a specific number that I'll share it to you at the end of this video that I'm going to kind of use to get the carb intake I'm looking at, and it's so important. So carbs are like not just important for the body, it's really important for your brain to kind of function. And 25% of the glucose that is consumed by the body is actually by the brain. So brain power. So yeah, and there are two different versions here. One is just without caffeine, and there's one, this one has a specific amount of caffeine, usually 35, 50 or 100 mg. Yeah, this one's 50 mg of caffeine. So this is the cocoa choco version. This one is the salted caramel. I have only these two versions. I've tried the other ones. Some are too sugary and some are, sorry, too sweet for me. Everything's sugary. So I like these specific two flavors and I always get the same one. The next product is the Elite Recovery Mix. So I use this post-training. So I combine this with my solid foods, which are carbs and protein, a mix of both of that. So to get the overall or total amount of macros that I need. And this particular product, it has about, what do you say? Okay, 40 grams of carbs and 10 grams of protein. So that's the mix that this one has. And you can have it immediately because it's just a quick mix, right? So typically for post-workout fuel, you should have a specific dose, depends on the workout duration, intensity and all of that. So you have that specific amount of carb plus protein mix within 30 to 60 minutes of finishing your workout so that you can replenish your glycogen stores and then you can like hit your recovery to the best. So this is one way to do this. And obviously I don't have it all the time, not after every session, but I keep it especially after key sessions so that the body can recover quickly after that. And it is so important, especially with triathlon training, because there are some days I've done like 3 sessions a day, and it's crazy to hear that, especially back when I was in Mallorca in Spain. We were training, we were doing 2-3 sessions a day, and at that time you just want your body to kind of bounce back ASAP. So that's when you need these things. So that's an important one. And then there's so many items. I can't believe I'm gonna have like so much product. My mother was like always like, eat solid food. But yeah, like that's where the biggest question comes, right? Health versus performance. What is good, what is not? Is Red Bull good? Everyone keeps asking me this. Coming back, the next important product. This has been a very important thing for me, daily drink mix. It's basically carbs again, but it can be mixed with water. So what I do in a race, especially in the cycling leg, I have my water, I mix the drink mix in the water. So whenever I'm sipping water, I'm also getting carbs. So it's like 2 in 1, 2 birds in 1 shot. So yeah, this has obviously, one sachet has 80 grams of carbs. You also get a smaller version, which is about 45 grams of carbs per sachet. And yeah, it goes into a specific amount of water. You can actually overload, like typically this goes into, mix 1 sachet in 1000 ml water, but my water bottle is actually 710 ml. So I do kind of, it's a concentrated solution in one bottle. I like to take plain water in another bottle because sometimes I don't want to always have carbs. So I kind of mix it up. But yeah, that really depends on what your race nutrition strategy is. So this is pretty useful. And the most important thing with carb mix is you have to test it out before. You don't directly go to the race and like pump this in just because someone pro told you that, hey, you need to have carb mix. Nope, you have to try it out. Otherwise, what it's going to cause is a lot of bloating. So you're going to have a lot of burping sensation. Your body will not be able to digest. So your body is battling digestive issues and muscular strain. So there's too much happening, increases the overall stress, and can it either digest or can it make you faster? Because it can't do both. So that's the problem. The next part, okay, so there are a lot of these supplements that I use. Some of them are here. Multivitamins and minerals, obviously so key. It's something that you don't have to be an athlete or you don't have to even be doing any kind of sport to take this. Make sure you get your multivitamins right and all the minerals that you need. Especially after like a certain age, it becomes a lot more important because metabolism goes down, these things become important, health becomes important. But I think I've started out having all of this way early in my life, and I have seen the benefits of making sure that my health and my supplements are in line. So yeah, it has all the important minerals and vitamins in it. Then couple more. This is vitamin C. So this is typically way more important. This one has 340 mg of vitamin C in one capsule. I've had even doses of up to 1000 mg. It's obviously not, I don't know if it's recommended or not, but whenever we're traveling, it's so easy to just get a flu, right? So I don't want to take that risk. So usually I kind of bump up on vitamin C before my travels, wear a mask always. And yeah, normally as well, I eat a lot of oranges, but adding on this particular thing will really help with my immunity. And I haven't been falling sick a lot lately. Not lately, I think my immunity is overall a lot better than the typical population. But again, I do some silly things sometimes. So just want to make sure it's right. Yeah, there's ashwagandha. I take this. It's not like a mandate as such. The others are like, some of them are very essential. But this is something that I add on to kind of just boost recovery. And this is plant-based. I particularly like that because I'm a bit skeptical about a lot of brands in India, and for me, Uniwide has worked, so I'm sticking to that. All the other supplements that I have are all from Australia. They're funnily called Ultra Life. That's the brand, and also Blackmore's. I think a lot of you know Blackmore's. So I use Blackmore's or Ultra Life for supplements. And this one's iron. As a female endurance athlete, I feel this is one of the most important because ferritin content directly impacts how you feel, your energy levels, your fatigue, all of that. And a lot of times, I think iron is the major reason why athletes are not recovering. And most of them just don't do blood work. Like 6 months, every 6 months, blood work is super mandatory. And I think these are the things that kind of show in that blood work. And you don't want to just go and like faint or fall on a track, right? So it can happen. We've seen people where they've had iron injections pumped in because suddenly it's too low that just supplements cannot help you anymore. They're just having to inject themselves with iron. So you don't want to get there. You want to kind of be conscious, see the body has the right things because everything is kind of connected. The body is such a beautiful, comprehensive piece, right? Go for it. Again, the brands are something that you can look up and figure out, but I'm talking about the vitamins that are important. So yes, there is this one more thing that I have, which is the chelated magnesium glycinate. So this is a pure form of it, and this one has about 750 mg of magnesium per capsule. And yes, I think magnesium is like super important for recovery. Have it in the night and it really helps. I have seen significant improvement in my sleep once I've started having or hitting the right dosage of magnesium and combining it with sleep consistency. So these two metrics have really helped me with my sleep. And yeah, but just there are some warnings, so yeah, be a bit careful with that. So this is about it. I can read that it supports nerve and muscle function, promotes healthy bone development, and helps provide stress relief. I definitely need the last part because I get too excited. And this is the new launch of Uniwed. I was waiting for this because my former coach, her name is Emma Palin Brown. No, she's not my current coach. I have another UK based coach currently. But my former coach, she's also like a 41-time Ironman 70.3 champion. She's a silver medalist at the Ironman World Champ. So Ironman 70.3 World Champs. Okay, never mind. So she told me how important this is, and she said there are a lot of other items that may not have had proof, but then this one definitely works. I'm going to take her word for it. So it is the creatine monohydrate. So this is typically used by a lot of obviously your strength or bodybuilders, etc. Have about 3 to 5 grams per day. And yeah, this is something that you can have right after your workouts, and some people have it before, some during. I mean, different philosophies there. But yeah, typically 3 to 5 grams per day, and it can help you with muscle development, strength, and improve mental activity. I'm just reading out, but yeah, so creatine is very good if you want to kind of get the right muscles. The one thing that I've realized is there is this ratio in your blood report called the creatine-1 ratio. So whenever you're doing the blood work, you've got to kind of skip your creatine intake for about 3 to 5 days so that the bloodstream kind of oozes it out, and then you do the blood work, because otherwise it's going to show you some ridiculous numbers there. So that was a very interesting learning that I had. Okay, the last two of them, there's K2. You actually have it along with vitamin D3. And we all know why vitamin D is the most important vitamin. And the last two, so this is the Elite Beet. So it's beetroot, and it's caffeine-free pre-endurance superfood. I usually have this about 5 to 7 days before my actual race. A lot of people have it before their strong or the race specific sessions as well. So this is important because it kind of improves the nitrate content in your bloodstream, helps improve performance. Again, a lot of studies that say yes, that say no, and all of that. But that said, I still have this. You typically have this before you brush your teeth. So if you've seen my race videos, I actually have a small slip on my bathroom door that says have drink mix before you brush, so that as soon as I'm hitting there, I see that small slip and I'm like, hey, okay, stop there, let's first have beat and then go for my workout. So this is how the packets look. Each packet, it is not the most, it's the most awfully tasting thing, but we do what we have to do to get what we have to get. So this is the second last thing, and the last one on the menu is beta-alanine. So it helps improve strength and endurance. A lot of studies again say beta-alanine is good for your body for performance. And in fact, the gels also contain, Univar gels are the only gels that have beta-alanine. They have about 200 mg of beta-alanine in their gel 100 itself. That said, I still add some more beta-alanine if based on my metrics that I look at. Okay, so we are done with this whole bundle of nutrition. And that's a wrap for this episode. I'm really hoping I could add or bring in some very new interesting things into your whole journey, whatever you're on to. And a lot of these things, right, are not just for athletes. I don't believe that you have to live like an athlete just to be an athlete. You can live like an athlete even if you want to succeed in any field in life. Things like nutrition, structure, recovery, etc., I feel play an important role in whatever profession you are in, especially if you want to kind of climb that ladder and be very successful in whatever you do. That's a wrap to this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any feedback, please feel free to drop it. I'm obviously getting comfortable with this whole YouTube thing, and I'm hoping I can take around the camera and show you a lot more of what I do in a day, what I eat in a day, what my strength session looks like, and there's so much that I want to show you. So come back again next Friday at 6 p.m. I'll be waiting for you with the next episode of Road to Ironman Hamburg series. Bye bye till then.